Hello there, this is Miss Terry here with a new moon reading. I hope you guys are doing well. This is going to be a collective reading, so this reading may or may not resonate with you. It is not time specific or sign specific, so please take the messages that apply and simply leave the rest. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm very curious to see what today's messages have for us, and I will be doing a individual signs reading soon as well, so you guys can look forward to that. I'm hearing the word intentions. This could have something to do with finances. This could have something to do with one's spiritual path. People here could be setting out intentions or being more intentional with their approaches right now. Grapes, satisfaction. This looks like expensive wine. Somebody here might love wine. But what I get about this is kind of like being intentional with a plan, with the cosmic plan. It's like, I want to be aligned with what is meant for me. I want to embrace what is meant for me. I want to be satisfied in that energy, knowing what's meant for me. Yeah, incubation, eggs. This has a lot to do with, obviously, the Easter season, but as well as new beginnings. Okay, the spring. Guardian angel. So there's a lot of guidance here when it comes to this during this time. Completion. There could be cycles closing out, very important cycles closing out to embrace this. And I was, safe passage, to embrace the new path. Now, I didn't really think I would mention this, but I find it very important. I was thinking about it heavily yesterday, but you know how I was telling you guys, this was like a month ago, I was telling you guys about a dream that I had, and it was about renters, like people who were renting out my childhood home, and apparently one of them passed away abruptly, like out of nowhere, in a car accident, and it was very tragic. The funeral is coming up, but it was two brothers, right? One of them was very stern, stoic, was more like the leader amongst the two. They lived together. And when his brother passed abruptly, I feel, activated his heart chakra in a way that he wasn't prepared to process such loss, because this is someone who he's had by his side for 30 years, okay? So imagine you have a person by your side for 30 years, and usually I get a vibe of like one is more dominant than the other. So the more dominant one was left alone. But to deal with such trauma and the abrupt shift, it made me think of a more symbolic narrative to how certain changes that are happening now are kind of pushing one forward into a new reality. And part of his is not having that person by his side anymore. Do you understand? So I get this weird energy of like certain changes that are happening, whether endings, shifts, relationship dynamics, family member dynamics, changing so drastically to a point where you have this moment where you need to reset to this new reality. This is something that happened very recently, just last week. And it was very sad to like hear the news. But it really made me think about life in general, right? How things can just change just like that. It had a lot to do with choices. Like when you think of the story as to how it all panned out, and I don't want to get into too much detail, but it has a lot to do with a choice, right? The person who passed had suggested, so sad, had suggested to like go home early from this party or this event. And the person who survived was like, no, we can stick around. Anyway, they ended up getting into a car with a person who was intoxicated driving, and the individual lost control of the vehicle, and the car shifted in a way and hit a pole where it only hit the person in the back seat. And the person in the back seat was the individual who wanted to go home early. So it's like the amount of guilt, yeah, the brother feels is insane. Now, we don't know why certain things happen, why certain lessons come about. But when these lessons hit us, it is completing a cycle for us to kind of process what we learned and move forward accordingly. And that can come with loss. That can come with pain. That can come with separations. That can come with shifts that in ways are out of our hands, because that situation was out of their hands. Okay, we can't control when it's someone's time. Okay, we can't control when the timer on a clock runs out in a relationship, in a job situation. But I get this completion energy heavily when it comes to things we cannot control. So the things we can't control, okay, are going to navigate in their own way energetically, right? And that is pushing us in a new timeline, in a new reality for us to embrace the new normal, a new normal from the previous normal, okay? And I'm getting a lot of people are embracing a new normal from the previous normal. This can come with good things, bad things, but I'm seeing a bit of both here, okay? Definitely. Tell me more. Gathering table. So this could be an important meeting that people are preparing for. Now this meeting, it gives me an energy of people coming together. This could have something to do with like a birthday celebration, a holiday, or just some kind of like it's giving me this vibe where the people who are meant for that next phase will be presented to a person, whether it be a person meeting new colleagues, a person gathering with individuals that are part of their soul tribe, partnerships, whether romantic or platonic as well. Can't make it up. That's creepy. Partnerships and balance. Pay attention to the new people entering your life. Take time to balance your time and energy in existing ones. It's about partnerships. That's immediately what I felt. Okay. So yeah, that was so sad. Like it really broke my heart. I didn't really know him, but I met him. He was a very sweet man. Very sad. So yeah. And I felt it to be symbolic for a lot of things happening in other ways, not necessarily as harsh as passings, but like endings to cycles, relationships, work situations. Tell me more. A new romantic cycle begins. So for those who are attracted to this reading, this could have a lot to do with the preparations for a new romantic cycle. Notice the word new normal. Okay, so it's like a new partnership. You guys could be running into people in a very serendipitous way, and you don't really know who they are or what part they're about to play in your life, but it's a significant one attached to this new cycle. And part of this scale here, it's meant to balance out one's life. Okay. Where there was an imbalance of something, the balance will be restored. Hold your vision. So this is kind of reminding you guys, especially during this time, to not lose sight of what you want that new normal to look like, okay? But also leave space for the universe to work in your favor, for God to work in your favor. God knows your heart better than anyone, okay? So it's like, just keep the faith in holding your vision for what that looks like for you. Exchanging gifts, I can't make it up. When there's an exchange happening, it's letting go of one thing to make room to receive another. And that's what I feel is happening, okay? So it's kind of like, all right, I got to give up this, whatever it is. This could be a habit. This could be a job. This could be this, that, for another one or another experience. One that is supposed to benefit your life, okay? I feel the energy of lessons tied into this. And I'm also hearing this vibe of like someone not wanting to give something up. So let's say a person is rooted in a toxic relationship that has seen the light of a lot of cycles. And a person has a hard time letting go of this. If the divine says the time is here for whatever plan it's got in mind, someone might have a harder time letting go of something. I'm feeling it. I'm seeing somebody clinging on to this present, not wanting to exchange presents. It's like Secret Santa. You know, when you give a present, this other person gives a present, and it's a vibe of like exchanging gifts. I'm seeing someone having a hard time letting go of what they've known to be the case, okay? So there's a desire or a need, actually, more of a need to be more fluid right now, okay? Yeah, never-ending story. The time is running out on a cycle that has been repetitive. Truth be told, in the reverse, this could have a lot to do with a lack of honesty with oneself or others. I feel like somebody has been harboring a lot on their chest, and the energies are almost encourage them to just be honest. They're at a crossroads. For some of you, this is someone who doesn't know which way to go, given this cross point. But if they were to open up, they would find their way. So there's someone here who's holding on to maybe a lot of unspoken words. Maybe they're feeling a ways, and they would need to kind of get something off their chest. Now would be the time, I'm hearing. I'm also getting this vibe of like whatever this confession is, it would bring in a lot of clarity. So this could have something to do with a romantic cycle. Maybe somebody just needs to be honest with the person they have feelings for. But I'm getting a very closed off energy here. What's to happen with this? A change in the wind cocked sideways. This is the person who maybe has a hard time dealing with change. The wind is encouraging them in one direction, but this is telling me that they have a very difficult, or it's like they have a difficulty moving forward. They have a difficulty letting go of the status quo, the tried and true, what they've been comfortable with. For some of you, this is someone who isn't comfortable with expressing their emotions to you. But it's like the winds are guiding them one direction. I seen a TikTok of these winds in the Netherlands. And it was like the wind was pushing someone forward. Like they were tumbling and jumbling in the streets because the wind was so powerful. It's like you can't really go against the current, right? This is the kind of person that might be very watchful to what they desire, but just sit where it feels safe. But there is a change in the wind regardless. One that's supposed to bring a lot of happiness, a more joyous time. Wow. So there's this vibe of like whoever is resisting this change, they're resisting their own happiness. They're resisting their own emotional fulfillment when it comes to a relationship they would need to open up for. Wow. This is the sacral chakra, and this is blossoming abundance. Pleasures, okay, satisfaction, abundance, the good stuff, right? Yeah. I feel like some kind of confession or some kind of opening up of feelings, whether this be a new person or an existing one, will bring in a lot of fertility, abundance, emotional happiness, confidence, pleasures in life, okay? I'm getting that vibe here, but it might require some courage. So we're going to see where this goes with my, which tarot deck do I want to use? Which tarot deck feels right? I'll take this one. I'm looking at my Santa Muerte deck, but I feel like those images might be a little bit too headstrong right now. So I'll just go with the simple one. Let's find out. Bottom. Yeah, opening up. This is indicative of a heart-to-heart. This is a messenger at times with the Page of Cups, but it's a messenger of emotional matters. This could even be an apology. So this energy is centered around an introduction for some, or an apology and an opening up. Wow, this could be after an ending. 10 of Swords. I said it too, guys. Certain endings, some fun or lesser fun, like less fun than others. Like there's a vibe of it being peaceful and others not so much. Because that resistant, you know, when somebody is resistant to the flow of things, when it finally is time, it hits harsher than if they were to just go with what the energy is obviously showing them. You know what I mean? It's giving me that. The 10 of Swords is an ending, but it's the most brutal one. You see that image? And now it's this new energy of the Page of Cups after that. But look at what happened previously. So someone here could have felt betrayed or defeated or let down. And it closed out a cycle for a new one to be established. 4 of Wands. This could have something to do with what a person thought was going to be harmonious. I'm getting this energy of an expectation. An expectation, the energy of defeat. And then this Page of Cups could be a new person. This one could be an existing person that a person had a horrific ending with. Okay. You have the King of Swords. This is probably the most intentional king in the deck. It's one's intentions, a decision, a standpoint, clarity. A person who is decisive and intentional is the King of Swords. Okay. Just the overall energy, that looks good with the Fool. It has a lot to do with embracing those new beginnings. For sure, a new cycle in love for some. So I get this very logical, for some of you, this is a more logical person who needs to like dot the I's and cross the T's for something to make sense to them. So this is a person who has kind of gathered enough information to come to this conclusion for themselves in their own time. And what this person is concluding is that they deserve, I'm hearing they deserve a new cycle. They deserve to embrace something new here. Y'all see where that person's match fell? We have the Devil. There is a pull between two people who energetically are on the same page. Now, it is very rare that I have the King and Queen of Swords coming out first thing. This has never happened. Also rare that the Queen of Swords fell right on top of the King of Swords. So I feel like energetically these two, masculine and feminine energies, are right on top of each other. They might not be right on top of each other in the physical world, but they sure are right on top of each other energetically. There's a pull between them. That's what the Devil is telling me. This is a lot to do with insatiable matters, like things that we can't deny. Like it's giving me temptation, but also it's just describing a bond, a pull between two people. The fixation. This is also giving me the energy of two people who think about each other a lot, or there's a conversation coming up between these two. The Tower. Wow. Wow. Now, this conversation shift, for some of you, this is past tense or it's to come. It's shifting the dynamic between these two. Now, some for the good, others for the worst, because these two could be a vibrational match when it comes to a soulmate connection, but this could also be depicting the energy between two exes or soon to be exes, okay? But the Tower is like nothing stays the same after this interaction. What does that mean? That could mean that the slate is clean for a new foundation to be built between these two, or the slate is clean for them to separate and go their separate ways, right? But I feel that this is like something about this being divine intervention between the two. And I can't say it is particularly negative. This is maybe shocking that these two are coming together, shocking that these two are talking together or entertaining a conversation with each other. Something about this combination here is shocking. But I feel like this is something like underneath the anxieties, this is something somebody wants. Somebody wants these two to be a match, to be, I feel this energy of discernment acquired between both feminine and masculine energies. Tell me more about this Tower. Wow. So it is a good Tower. I see a person, maybe it's a shock that a person wants to offer another one, kind of like a token of maybe appreciation or a commitment of a sorts. Whatever these two are having, like maybe this, it smells like a breakthrough almost, because the Knight of Coins is an offer. The Star is wish fulfillment. It's giving me this vibe of like, this is, it's almost like these two either having this conversation together, talking together, or coming to some kind of an agreement is the Tower, is shocking, is like, oh my God, this is the thing that's going to shift my world. Now, these two might know each other or they do not, but I just feel like it's part of the divine orchestrating something, or it's part of divine intervention entirely. Two of Wands. Whatever this is between the two, there is a free will choice involved, but there's also planning required with the Hierophant. It's giving me this energy of needing to be on the same page, coming into agreement with each other. The Hierophant speaks of contracts as well. Wow. No, my decks take this long to shove a card out. I know it's intentional about cards. Wow. Someone is so nervous about this going well or not. Nine of Swords is they can't eat, sleep. This has a lot to do with dreams as well. That can almost seem so accumulating. It's like dang near nightmares. Like this is someone who's just in a lot of anxiety. Ten of Cards. Ten of Cups is my dreamy card. Somebody here really wants this bad. They almost want this to go very, very well, and they're nervous. They're nervous about this interaction because it's an agreement. It's like it takes two to tango. It's something that both people need to decide on. So either one of these could be very nervous. Maybe somebody's nervous to come into this. Maybe they won't rest until they do. Yes, and I was thinking about the Page of Cups at the top of the reading. They won't rest until they have this heart-to-heart. They won't rest until they maybe apologize. They won't rest until they introduce themselves. So they're banking on something, guys. This could be your person banking on this conversation going well this season. This new moon could be invoking this in this person a lot, to just do something abruptly to shift the narrative between you two. Page of Cups. It is still an itty-bitty page, but it's a breakthrough in communication. For some of you, this conversation could go very, very well. For others, very, very wrong. It depends on both individuals involved and how they conduct themselves. I'm also noting how the King of Swords, his swords is in the upright, and this Queen of Swords, her sword is down. So if you're the feminine energy, this is how I looked at them. You see how her attention is drawn to this masculine speaking his truth? For some of you, the advice here is to put your sword down and just listen. Both your swords can't be up at the same time, I'm hearing. There's something about hearing a person out. There's some kind of clarity this masculine has established to a point where he's come home to his truth. There's an energy of being intentional with what this person wants to say, and they're going to say it as best as they can. But I get this vibe of, in this case for feminine energies, in the Queen of Swords, best listen before speaking or talking over this person speaking this very important truth. Now, I want to know what that is. Okay. The Ten of Cups, this is something they've been thinking about for a long time. This person could have been reflecting, self-isolating on what their future ideally looks like with all this happiness, with all this blossoming abundance. I feel like somebody here has been resistant for a while. They probably kept their feelings and truth in for a while. This is someone who hasn't been moving or speaking their truth. They haven't been moving out of their truth either, because this person has some kind of truth within that they haven't opened up about, whether amongst others or with you. It kept them stagnant, resistant to going with the flow. And this truth and the alignment with these two people coming into agreement is literally going to shift their reality. So you see how people have tower moments right now, have been having them for the past few weeks, months even. This is a good tower moment depending on how both people conduct themselves and whether or not they can come into an agreement with each other, okay? Dang. And the tone of this reading felt so serious from the top. And I'm dealing with the King and Queen of Swords. That's a very serious conversation. It's not the King and Queen of Cups or Pentacles or Wands. It is the Swords. So this is everything to do with thought and speech. Okay, tell me more about this, the conversation. Judgment. It is literally do or die. Like, it's literally yes or no. This conversation could have a lot to do with a new cycle, but grounding it into the 3D. The Ace of Pentacles, the coin. I wanted to say the coin. The Ace of Pentacles is a card of a new beginning, but solidifying it. Judgment is literally yes or no. This is also an energy of resurrecting something. It is a final call. It's almost like the divine is really urging this. The Tower to the Judgment card. Something about it being time. I see these two having this conversation, and there's an energy of coming into agreement. There is a need to be a listener and a speaker when necessary. This is a shift, and that's that new reality that wants to ground itself. The Wheel of Fortune is either good karma in the upright, sometimes bad karma, right? It's also a card of destiny, divine timing at times. But this is good fortune, the Ace of Pentacles. I'm just getting this energy of the divine being like, enough of the games. There's no more time for whatever was happening before. We have the Goat Man. There's a vibe here. This almost smells like Aries energy, even though it is Capricorn. The Goat Man to the King of Wands is that pull, is that urge. It's that I need to do this. Yes, I wanted to say it smells more like Aries energy because y'all know I'm not a fan of the Goat Man, okay? I really don't usually like this card because I equate it with toxicity. But in this reading today, it really means a pull. Because look how this man is illustrated on the edge of his seat to do something. And I said it felt more like Aries energy. Long behold, we have the Emperor behind it, which is also on the edge of his seat, by the way, in red, representing the card of Aries, okay? Crazy, right? And I'm getting chills. Because when I saw these horns, I was like, that's Aries right there. So I felt the energy and I'm seeing the card. That is confirmation. The masculine energies are feeling a pull here. They're feeling the call. Judgment, Tower. It is time for this conversation to come through. Again, sword up when necessary, sword down when necessary. Speak when you're spoken to. There's an energy of this conversation being incredibly important because I get a vibe of like if these two in some way, shape, or form butt heads, whether it's divine masculine energies butting heads or a person being like predominantly in their masculine when they need to be more like, let me hear this person out. You know, there's a vibe here because these two have the propensity to trigger each other, okay? I really feel like I'm reading on soulmates or twin flames. I saw Temperance and the Nine of Pentacles. So they were telling me this has a lot to do with the necessity to heal and being alone with the self and being secure with the self and understanding one's self-worth and understanding what it is to stand on one's own 2 feet. Okay, it's the independent energy versus the codependent one. So there's something about this conversation going well if each person have had this sense of like, I'm good, grounded and healed to a certain extent, because healing journeys never really end, right? Yeah, tell me more. Do I really have to fetch that card? King of Water, emotions. I'm seeing almost all the kings now. What? Wow, we have the King of Water and the Five of Cups. There's someone here who is still, what's the word, emotionally grieving a connection. This could be where this person is right now. This is regret, remorse. I wish I could do things differently. I wish I would have done this differently. It's giving me, you know, I wish I could. I wish I did. For some, I wish I didn't do that. There's a lot of regret, guilt, remorse, and shame in this card, and it's associated with a masculine who is feeling all the feels. For who? An Empress. For some of you, this is a person who didn't appreciate one's emotional investments before. Wow, 8 of Cups to the Empress. An Empress energy has withdrawn her emotional investments. Empress energy is divine feminine. And I'm seeing somebody regretting the way they've conducted themselves with a divine feminine. 31, as I said that. Let's see what your person has to say, irrespective of gender. Those who resonate with this story. Wow. 5 of Cups, I miss you. That's that pull as well. Somebody here misses their person. Look at this. So much has happened between us in the past. Can we work through it again? For some of you, these are the words this person wants to express, that they miss their person, that a lot has happened, and they're wondering if this is salvageable, okay? They feel as though there's some kind of unresolved issue between the two. But the pull is undeniable. The feelings are there. There's a lot of love here. But the way this person is coming in is from an intentional approach, a logical approach. And it would be wise to listen and hear this person out, to see where this can go, if this is something you want to restore at all. And for others of you where this is a new relationship coming in, I'm feeling one could be a new person, another one could be a more like regretful person, but I feel predominantly this is dealing with a person you already know, okay? I want this so badly, but I'm afraid of getting hurt, so I self-sabotage. This is somebody who's maybe explaining as well why they self-sabotage in the first place, or this is what their higher self is trying to say, is that the pull is strong, but they're equally terrified. 9 of Swords. Yeah, this is someone facing a fear. This is someone who's more afraid of losing the person than approaching them. For some of you, this person, I would be mindful, because for some you're dealing with a person who tests the waters and zips on out. Yeah, I'm getting that vibe. This could have been somebody who did that before. Like, I'll test the waters, and then when I know everything is all good, I'm like, out. Yeah, for some of you. I can't be tied down right now. I have too many interests. This is someone who might be afraid of that. I keep being drawn back to you, and I can't explain why. Yeah, that's the pull. This is someone who's maybe afraid for some of you, or was afraid of long-term commitments, but I'm not really feeling that. Guilt. Hurting you was never my intention, but now it's hurting me too. 5 of Cups. This person can't eat, sleep without their person. This pull is eating them alive. This person might feel as though you've moved on from them. The feelings I have for you overwhelm me, so I run away to process them. Yeah, man. That's what I said too. It's like they run. This is someone who ran from you. But I get a vibe of these two people having an important conversation that brings forward change for the new cycle. I feel like I'm explaining the characteristics of what this person once did before. And I feel like there was a separation here that was very much so necessary. And I'm seeing somebody listening to another person. Because whatever they're saying, they're speaking their truth. They're being honest with this conversation. Something about them being intentional this time. There are a lot of sleepless nights here. A lot of guilt. A lot of regret. And this energetic urgency to make some kind of new beginning here. Tower, Judgment. Yeah, what I just spoke of urgencies. What did I get? I know my time is running out. They can feel it. Ooh, I love you unconditionally. So the clock is ticking and the love still resides in a very big way. I feel like this person, through grief, loss, and regret, is realizing as well how much they love a person. I can't make it up. I'm sorry for all the times I disappointed you. Through grief, loss, and regret, a person is realizing how much this individual means to them. Okay? So it's like somebody recognizing that it's time for their act to kind of come together, or something to come to a close, because the love still resides. But these two give me like Ice King and Ice Queen. Who, it's like they both have their reasons for coming in stern. Some could be doing it out of a more protective mechanism. Others could be doing it out of a sense of discernment. Like, I'm just trying to like see what this person is on here. I feel like they're both in this energy of just like, they have this very serious guard up, despite feeling the way they do. But I promise you, if both individuals give each other the time to speak their truth without stepping over the other, because I like how one sword is up and the other down. When one speaks, your sword has to be down. You have to stay quiet and listen. Then when they're done, you speak. But there has to be a sense of respect between these two for this to work out. And I'm only saying this because I'm speaking to two people who trigger each other, despite there being so much undeniable love between them, okay? So I could be speaking to twin flames or a deep level soulmate. And there's a lot of things that are either were left unsaid, need to be unpacked between them. And a person is very well aware that their time is running out to get it right. Okay. Damn, this very serious reading. Even I was serious in this reading because I can feel the energy feels very serious. It's like, oh, y'all were playing games maybe for 6 months, 2, 3, 4 years, for some 6 years. But now it's like, there's no playing games. It's like, there's no game playing here. It's just go time. Aries season, y'all. I can't. I can't. Uh-oh. This card is back from the back. All right, let me give it a good shuffle and go again. I wish I could wake up to you each morning. Yeah, man. Sleep ain't that great. For some of you, I'm telling you, they've been dreaming things. Dreaming things. Yeah. For some of you, why they feel this time crunch as well is that they maybe energetically know that if they don't, someone else will. I don't want to see you with anyone else. And I'm going to surprise you. Now, with I'm going to surprise you card, it might surprise you that this person actually takes a leap of faith towards you. It might surprise you that this person is talking to you at all. It might surprise you that this person says what they say. It might something might surprise you. Okay, this doesn't have to necessarily be I'm planning a surprise party, but it could just be what they say is surprising, how they move is surprising, how they give now is surprising. Okay, so in this new energy, anything is possible, basically. Because I feel with anything being possible, the Empress energy is attracting a lot right now. Okay. Yep. It's almost giving me this giving season versus a stingy season. The Four of Pentacles is that person who held on to things, not wanting to give certain things up for the universe to bless them further. And the Six of Pentacles is that giving and receiving card. So a lot of things are being exchanged right now. And this is someone who might act very differently from they did before. That's why it feels like it could surprise you. And at the end of the day, what you choose, whether you guys come into an agreement or go your separate ways, is, as I said, very free will based. All right? It's like this is the new normal ahead. And this is that decision-making point. Dang. I'm going to take a leap of faith and I'm going to surprise you. For some of you, it's surprising that this person took a chance or is going to take a chance. It's like, wait, what? Don't say I didn't say it here first. That's what I have for you guys. If this reading resonated, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, bye.